Chapter 8 Intoxication 8 days later. James Adams staggered up the fire stairs to the 8th floor of the main building on Cherub campus. He wore one sock, boxer shorts, a muddy tracksuit top, and an Arsenal bobble hat as he began pounding a fist on the door of his sister's bedroom. "Yo, Lauren! Let me in!" James said, his voice slurring. James banged again as Lauren emerged behind the door, dressed in a Scooby-Doo nightshirt. She had her arms folded and a fearsome look on her face. "What are you playing at, James?" she whispered angrily. "It's 2 in the bloody morning." "I want you to come out and partay with me, sis." "James, I'm not partying with anyone. You smell like a pub. How much have you had to drink?" "Not partying, Lauren," James giggled. "Partaying." "James, go down to your room and go to bed. If one of the night staff catches you stumbling around in that state, they'll murder you." "Oh, but I want to have fun," James moaned. "It's Friday night. I got my advanced combat certificate today. We've all been in town celebrating. Shopping arcade, the dodgy off license, cinema." "What happened to Gabriel and the others?" "Wusses," James sneered. "They all went to bed." "James," Lauren said irritably, "you're going to get in so much trouble. Then I'm going to have to spend the next God knows how long listening to you moaning on about it. Go downstairs to your room and go to bed." "Oh, let me in for 1 minute," James begged, holding up a finger. "I just wanted to say that I love you." Lauren dived out of the way as her big brother stumbled forwards and tried to give her a hug. "You know," James said, "I never get to tell you that I love you anymore. That stupid cow Bethany is always hanging around." "James, when exactly did you and me ever go around saying that we loved each other?" Lauren flicked on her light, and James noticed that her best friend was sitting up in the double bed, scowling at him. There were 3 other girls lying in sleeping bags on the floor, as well as empty soft drink cans and plates of half-eaten munchies scattered around. "We're having a sleepover," Lauren explained. "Then I'll join you," James grinned. "Oh, no you won't." James gave Bethany a wave. "Hi, Bethany." "Drop dead, James." James giggled. "That's not nice." "Nor's calling me a cow." The other 3 girls were all sitting up in their sleeping bags, watching the drama in the doorway. They were whispering and shaking their heads. Lauren was totally embarrassed. "Go to bed, James," Lauren repeated, shoving her brother back out of the room. "Okay, I will," James nodded. "Can I come in and have a quick pee first? I'm busting." Lauren backed away from her door. "Go on then. I suppose you're satisfied now that you've woken 5 people up. Make sure you lift up the seat for once as well." James stumbled over the legs inside the sleeping bags and walked into Lauren's bathroom. She bunched her fists and grimaced at her sleepy friends. "Brothers," she huffed. "I'm really sorry about this." Bethany smiled sympathetically. "You don't need to tell me about them." "I like the bubble hat," one of the sleeping bag girls giggled. The 3 others joined in the laughter, but Lauren wasn't in any mood to see the funny side. James flushed the toilet and staggered back over the sleeping bags, but this time he managed to stick his foot in a plate of nachos, spewing crumbs and dip over the floor. "Oh, crap!" James gasped, crouching down and scooping up some of the dip with his bare hand. "James, you're rubbing it all in," Lauren said furiously. "I'll do it. Just get out of here." "Sorry," James said as he opened Lauren's bedroom door to leave. "Good night." Lauren stamped her foot as she shut the door behind her brother. "Idiot." "Don't get upset about it, Lauren," Bethany said. "It's not your fault." A couple of the girls had grabbed tissue from the bathroom and were using it to scoop crumbs and dip off the carpet. "You know," Lauren said, holding her thumb and finger a few millimeters apart, "I was that close to giving him a slap." "Good morning, James," Meryl Spencer yelled cheerily as she leaned over James's bed. Meryl was a retired Kenyan sprint champion who worked as an athletics coach on Cherub campus. She was also James's handler, a role that was part form teacher and part guidance counsellor. "I've got it posted on my desk," Meryl said. "I read a glowing report about you from Mr. Carter yesterday afternoon, so I wrote myself a little reminder. The post-it says, 'Make point to see James. Congrats on combat course.'" James felt like there was a 1,000-ton weight pressing down on his head as Meryl sat on the corner of his bed. "But, judging by your demeanour and the smell of booze in this room, I'd say you took the celebrations a little too seriously, wouldn't you?" James could hear Meryl's words, but his face was buried in a pillow, and he kept remembering horrible stuff from the night before. Falling over in the cinema, the popcorn fight, hitting on Gabrielle and failing miserably. And, worst of all, the 2 a.m. scene in Lauren's room. She was going to be furious. "James, sit up," Meryl said stiffly. "I'm not prepared to conduct a conversation with the back of your head. You've missed first lesson already." James turned over, not completely surprised that he'd managed to sleep through his alarm. As he moved, he felt his hand slide through something gooey. "I couldn't have." "Miss, I think I'm sick," James gasped as he sprung up in a state of shock. "I'm not surprised. The amount of booze you must have downed last night." "No," James said anxiously. "Really sick. I think I've done something nasty in my bed." Meryl scrambled off the bed as James threw back his duvet and braved a look. He caught a waft of vinegar as he realised he was lying in a puddle of salsa. "Oh my God," James said, scrambling out from under the covers with streaks of chili and onion goo soaked into his boxers and gliding down his legs. Meryl couldn't help smiling. "I think someone's played a trick on you, James." James knew it must have been a revenge attack from Lauren and Bethany, but he didn't want to grass them up. Meryl grabbed a large towel off the bathroom and threw it at him. "You'd better wipe that lot off before it goes all over the carpet, and get all the bedding down to the laundry as soon as you've showered." "Yeah," James said, as he rubbed his legs with the towel. "Now, about last night. We're quite lenient about what you kids get up to in your own time. We know the off-licenses in town do a roaring trade selling you lot booze, and that some of you smoke, but we're prepared to turn a blind eye, provided you're sensible about it." "Yes, miss," James said meekly. "In my book, coming back to campus at 1 a.m, urinating in the fountain, getting into pillow fights with Dana and Gabrielle, running up and down the fire stairs shouting 'up the gunners,' and then waking up your sister and half the other kids on the 8th floor, does not fit any standard definition of sensible. Would you agree?" "Yes, miss." Meryl jiggled the note again. Because of what Mr. Carter said about your performance on the Advanced Combat course, and because you had genuine reason to celebrate, I'm going to let you off with a warning. But I'm going to have zero tolerance for you consuming alcohol on or anywhere near campus for the next 6 months. Is that understood? James was pleasantly surprised. He was expecting Merrill to fine him pocket money and put him on a week of punishment laps. Yes, miss. How's your head? Merrill asked sympathetically as James slumped on the edge of his bed, trying to ignore the smell of salsa. The hangover made his stomach churn whenever he thought about it. Pretty rough. I'll write you a note, excusing you from this morning's lessons. Are you okay? James asked suspiciously. I'm fine. Why? You're being nice to me. Merrill laughed. Maybe I'm getting soft in my old age. If it bothers you, I can take you out to the athletics track and make you run 50 laps with a hangover. No, it's good, James grinned. Once you've showered, you can make your bed with fresh sheets and rest until lunchtime. I'm told you've got an appointment with John Jones, and we don't want you turning up for that feeling like death, do we? James looked surprised. What's that in aid of? I haven't heard all the details about the mission, Merrill said. But it's a big one. Help Earth related. Somewhere down under.